started like in 5 minutes or so. Just give everybody a chance to join, and we'll get going.
Cool.
Awesome. Okay, and we are live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook too. So awesome. I see some folks just joined. So we'll give it again another 1 or 2 minutes until everybody join, and then we'll get started. Happy Sunday, everybody. If you wanna share where you're calling from and maybe your LinkedIn profile in the chat, this would be a great chance for you to connect with others who joined today. How to get referrals in a tough market by Joe Paulo. This is our call today. Interesting topic.
Well, way to put the pressure on it. Now I have to be interesting.
No pressure, Joe. No, I'm sure you'll do a great job. As usual.
Yeah, we'll see.
Awesome. So we'll give it again another 2-3 minutes. If anyone wants to again come off mute and speak about where they are calling from, it will be a good way to break the ice until we get this started. Neil, when did you start getting referrals for anything in your life?
You're asking me when?
Yeah, I'm asking Neil just to see what's his.
In the mid-late 80s, I got a consulting gig when I was a geologist, a geoeconomist. It was a referral.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I think most of my.
From then on, it was. Then with all pretty much my tech jobs were all referral jobs.
Awesome. Yeah, I think my first, let's say 3 or 5 jobs were all from referrals. The first one I asked my dad to find me something. I was still a young graduate. I was nagging him to help me, and then he just made some few phone calls, and he got me one interview, and that's where I started.
Wow. Yeah, it doesn't take it. It's a very. It looks ominous and it looks really difficult, but you'd be shocked. It's always shocking when I talk to people how they landed a job from just a casual conversation referral that's just purely by chance or luck. I was just reading an article this morning about a young guy who was in university out east, and he was a keyboardist, organist, and all this stuff. But he's a very energetic guy, and he was at a Crash Test Dummies concert or something like that. I think it was, and he was dancing in the front, and the bassist recognized him from working in a store and knew he was a good keyboardist. And then they pulled him up, or he was the other organist. Anyways, they pulled him up on stage. He insisted that he come on stage. He knew he was good because he used to come into the store all the time and play. And then from then on, and then after that, he has this incredible musical career. He backs up bands, he does sessions, everything. Like, it's just purely by chance. It was just amazing, like total fluke. But you have to keep trying. You have to keep talking to people. That's the hard part. So.
Yeah. Awesome. I think we're getting ready to start. So let's do the recording and get going. I know that we have a lot of folks who just joined, so we start the recording. Awesome. Happy Sunday, everybody. Thanks for joining our weekly Sunday 11 a.m. call. By the way, this will be the last session for this year. We will not do those sessions anymore in this year, at least because of the Thanksgiving and breaks and holidays. Most people go to other shopping malls on Sundays during this time. So I want to give you a chance to enjoy the holidays and come back in January with us. So today I'm very blessed to have Joe Paulo. He's a sales coach and sales leader. He's been helping so many businesses and leaders to get more referrals through his silver bullet process he built through the years. And again, I'll let him do his own introduction, but I'm very, very excited to have this call delivered by Joe Paulo, how to get referrals in a tough market. A little bit about me. My name is Ahmed Zayed. I'm an IT professional and a career coach. I've been helping people landing jobs in 3 months or less for the past 5 years. I helped more than 700 professionals land jobs in US and Canada. I focus particularly on tech professionals, and I do my coaching through my company futurecareer.net. So if you didn't follow us yet on LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram, you can do that. Just search for futurecareer.net, and I'll be happy to help you. I also host a free Q&A every Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern, where you can join, come, ask questions, review your resume, LinkedIn, or any challenges, any blockers that you have for your job search. So with that said, I'll give it back to Joe. Welcome, Joe. The floor is yours. We're very excited to have you with us today.
Thanks, Ahmed. Appreciate being here and appreciate the invite, and thanks everyone else for showing up. I was talking earlier, kind of before we got started, that when I'm finished with this, I've got another call, and then I look right past my camera here. My neighbor and I are got a tree that's partially down, and I like doing that type of stuff. But this is a tricky one. So if I can make this call last long, I'm really open to it, because you could get it down and I don't have to do that work. So I'm open to that. But I say that a little bit of humor. I'm pretty open. If you have a question, throw it in the chat. It doesn't matter. We'll kind of bounce and go wherever. But I'm a founder of my company, Sell Nothing. I actually wrote the book, How to Sell Nothing, A Logical Way to Make the Emotional Sale. And it deals with a lot of aspects in sales. And I really think us trying to get a job, it is a sale. So I'm taking some principles from sales and putting it here that we could use today and hopefully help you out. There's basically 2 points that I want to give, a couple of ideas that you can apply today or apply tomorrow. And then I have another thought that I want to help you to make sure that you stand out a little bit when you are having that conversation. We were talking earlier, Neil was saying that almost all of our jobs, you think back, and we've heard people that just a fluke connection, just an introduction, it's basically referral. That's how I coach people. I said, you have your network. That's where you're going to find your job. It's most people get hired internally. They know somebody. We really got to capitalize on that. And the way to do that is referrals. I think we maybe mental mushroom. How do we get introduced? How do we get referred to that hiring manager? How do we get referred to that CEO of that company? And this is kind of what I call a simplified referral ask. And it's real basic, and I'm real kind of a tactical salesperson. But if we're going to ask for a referral, if we're going to get introduction, let's say this person knows you. Let's go with that platform. If you're going to get a referral, they should know you. Maybe they've worked with you before. It's weird just to come up and say, hey, who do you know? We shouldn't do that. That's like when we're selling, we just close. Hey, do you want it? We have a process in sales. We should have a process in our asking for referrals. So what I look at it, and I'm kind of a mental guy or a visual guy, but when I'm asking for referrals, there's this imaginary bucket called those things, okay? And it's their voice that fills up that bucket. Their words fill up that bucket. I need them talking before I ask for referrals. So it's real simple. And Ahmed, I'll use you as an example. I'll put you a little bit of role play, put you on the spot. We've worked together for a couple months. But let's just say I'm looking for an introduction from Ahmed, and he's a client of mine or a friend of mine, and I would say, "Hey, Ahmed, I was wondering if you could help me out.
Yeah,
You could
sure.
jump in the role play." Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Listen, we've worked together the last couple months. We've covered a lot of topics, about as far as our vision, our goal setting, a little bit about how with me or what we've done.
So what I really like about you, Joe, is that you're empathetic. You ask questions. You get to know me where I am. You are very organized about setting expectations. Our first goal, you told me that we will both hold each other accountable on this process, which I really like the most about this kind of relationship is again. I'm okay to challenge you. You're okay to challenge me, and this is how we'll both grow and learn from each other. So that's what I really appreciate about you.
Has it helped your business and be able to grow? You've seen some results or impact?
Yeah, no, again, I got my first referral last week, through your process, definitely.
Well, thanks. I appreciate it. So if I hear you right, we work together, but you like the part that one, I'm empathetic. I ask a lot of questions. I took the time to get to know you and establish a relationship. We talk about expectations and accountability. Ahmed, who's someone else would appreciate that?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of folks, who's having their own business here locally that I think, they will benefit a lot from your practice.
Okay. Let's step out of role play here. That was the process. Before you asked for a referral, before I asked him who does he know, I got him bragging about what he liked about working with what we've done before. And it's really weird mentally. We can't just compliment somebody, tell them, hey, we're doing really good, and then say, well, I can't think of anybody that could help out. Our brains don't work that way. So the process is before I ask for a referral, I want their voice to fill up that bucket of those things. What do you like about working with me, my team, my company, whatever? And then you give them a couple of bones, give them a couple of answers. Was it, the value of time or the whatever the pieces are you work with? Give them a couple of ideas, and then expand on. Was it helped you? How does it done that? So really got Ahmed saying what he likes about me and how it helped him, and how he got a client. I'm sorry, a referral. That's a natural pivot, and say, well, who would appreciate those things? And I just really simplified that referral ask. I think we get too caught up and we make it into a mental mushroom. It's a big thing. It's not. It's a basic introduction. And it's very doable to do. And it's good for us to hear that compliment. So ask for some feedback, give them a couple ideas, repeat it back, make sure we're clarity. And you may get them talking even more and just simply say, hey, who's someone else I should talk to? It's that simple. Now I'll stop for feedback. Any questions, to put it in chat if you have any questions on this, or even your comments, or if anyone's done anything similar. But that's the simplified referral ask. Any questions or any chat coming up? I can keep rolling, but I want to make sure I have opportunity for you to say something.
Yeah, again, guys, this call is for you mostly. So Joe here is is helping us how to get referrals. So if you have questions about referrals, feel free to chime in, ask questions, and get to learn from this amazing speaker today, Joe. Okay, Mohammed, go ahead.
Again, okay, thank you, Joe, for your time. So now I have an issue that I asked many referrals in a software companies to make a referral for me, and they go directly to the hiring manager or the HR department, and many times they told me it is overqualified for the job needed. However, I need this job. So what is to handle this situation? So they mentioned that he is overqualified, number of years is high. How can he apply for senior software developer? However, he has 20 years of experience, but I'm actually senior software developer, and I would like to get this job, and I have a referral, but the hiring manager didn't confuse. So in this situation, what is the optimal procedure, or what we have to do for me or my referral?
So I'll answer it two ways. One, that's an objection. that's the reason why they're not going to go forward. And I'm a firm believer in answering objections in advance. They're not going away. We know what they are. Let's bring it up. So I would throw it in on the front end when you're approaching them to say, hey, no, I know maybe overqualified, but I'm really looking for a solid company that I can grow and move up into that level. So bring it up first. That's one idea. The second part, you may have a story you want to tell, but the thing is, we have to get that conversation. Maybe bypass the hiring manager and get to the person that you want to get to. And that kind of leads, and so we can have that conversation. That leads to my second topic is, how do you make, or the second idea you guys can apply, how do you make those introductions call you back? How do you make them more valuable? Right now, the people that we want to talk to, maybe a name and a number is not enough. They're busy people. We get referred to people and it goes nowhere. And it's kind of annoying and it's hard to do that. My business is 100% referral based. I've been doing this for 10 years. The first 8 years, I didn't have a website. I didn't use LinkedIn. I didn't do any podcasts. I didn't have a book. Didn't do any speaking. Didn't do any webinars. I just got referrals. Now, since I had my book, I've done all those things, but my business still comes from referrals. But my referrals call me back. And the process I do to make sure that happens is something you guys could do. It's what I call a silver bullet. And I'll give you a free PDF. I'll put it in the chat where it kind of talks to the points of it. A silver bullet is basically the definition. It's a little bit of information that I know that an average Joe on the street doesn't know. A little bit of information that I know that an average Joe on the street doesn't know. And I want to use that to draft off the referee's relationship to the referral, so I can have that first conversation, have them call me back, or have that kind of establish the relationship much earlier. And it's given at the time of giving referrals. If someone gives me a referral, again, I want to draft off of their relationship. And it just starts with, once they give you the name, we have to make that name and the number more valuable. Right now, it's kind of cold. We want to need something to warm it up, something with a relationship. So let's just say that you refer me to Bill Anderson, making up a name. All right. And Ahmed, I'll use you as an example again. So Ahmed referred me to Bill. I said, awesome. How long have you known Bill? That's a good question. What does he do? Ask a couple of basic questions about Bill, what he does, and what his role is. I think we do a pretty good job at that piece. Maybe even ask about his family. Did you go to school? Just some general information. We get them kind of thinking about Bill, and then I kind of pivot. And I say, hey, just curious, what type of decision maker is Bill? Is he a numbers guy? Is he a driver? Or is he a talker? And that causes them like, man, I got to think about it. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. I want you thinking about your relationship with him, because that's what I'm going to draft off. And I can't get there without you literally thinking about him. And I give him a couple answers. Like, what type of decision maker is a weird question? So help him out and give him a couple answers. Is he a numbers guy, driver, or talker? And it's good to know. If he's a driver, I mean, kind of those type A people that are really, abrupt, the CEO type, I want to know that. Because going into my call, I know I got about 5 seconds to catch his attention, and then I need another 7 seconds until we establish a little bit more. That's good to know on the front end. If he's a talker, that's good for me to know, because I can let him get his words out. So I ask, when I'm getting a silver bullet, and again, the definition, something that I know that an average Joe on the street doesn't know. And I want to get it at the time of the referral. You refer me to Bill Anderson, ask some generic questions about him. I pivot and say, hey, just curious, what type of decision maker is Bill? Is he a numbers guy, driver, or a talker? Then I'm starting to, so I'm writing this down. And then the best question is, just curious, what do you respect most about Bill? Love asking that question. What do you respect most about him? And I watch their face. If you do it, watch their face. Like, damn it, no, I really got to think about him. Yeah, I need you thinking about that relationship. I need that out there. And they'll tell me some really good stuff. And then say, ask, well, why should I like him? Tell me a funny story about him. Get something that can make that name and a number come alive. And make your name, when you call out, stand out. A couple of examples of silver bullets. Mark referred me to Aaron. And Mark said, this is exactly what he said. He said, he's a great guy. He's been at my level. He had about 3 people on his team. Now he's got 30. Good family guy, hard worker, very progressive thinker. He's not a meathead. Those are all questions I asked after I got his name. Okay. And I kept going until I got something that I knew was going to catch his attention. It was real simple with Aaron. I called Aaron, and I'm a script guy. This is exactly what I coach on this and I train on this. And I said, Aaron, and this is exactly what I say on every call. Aaron, it's Joe Palo. I don't say this is Joe Palo. If you say this is, you're screaming this is a sales call. So I say, Aaron, it's Joe Palo. We have an active 612-805-7576. And I hung up the phone. That was it. 5 minutes later, Aaron called me back. He's thinking, well, what else did Mark say? Let that work for you. Aaron became a great client, good friend, and he is a meathead. A little humor there, but he's a good guy. So he caught that silver bullet, made him stop and think of his relationship, and then he called me back. And I coach on this, and I train on this, and I practice myself. I will not call anybody until I get the silver bullet on them. It's that effective. It's that important. If you're trying to talk to the hiring manager, you want to have a conversation, because right now they're just screening you. You know, they're spreadsheet screening you out, comparing you to everybody else. We need to have that, make a conversation. A silver bullet is a way to you to initiate that call and get them to call you back. Then you can explain, hey, I may be overqualified. You have those other bits and pieces. I will not call anybody. It's too valuable. I can leave a message and they will call me back. And when you're getting your silver bullets, we need to get enough of them just to make sure. I could leave 4 or 5 messages. I get 4 or 5 silver bullets. They can call me back. Now, a real important piece is when you leave a message with a silver bullet, because odds are people don't pick up the phone, but they will call you back if you leave a silver bullet. What do you do then? And this is something that took me a little while to figure out, but I'm pretty rock solid on it. If I leave a message for Bill Anderson and he calls me back, I put his name in his phone so I know it's him coming back. I don't want to run that call right then. It's too important. I don't want to go halfway through my introduction and he says, hey, Joe, I'm jumping on a plane. Can I call you next week? I've lost it. So when they call me back, even though I want to talk to the person, that's it. I'm going to set up another time. Say, hey, I appreciate you calling back. I apologize. I just got jumping into something else. I saw it was you. I want to take your call. Hello, guys. He said I'm not a meathead. I want to talk to him. Just let that little couple of days stir and keeping them thinking about me. But I don't run that call, even though I do it. It's very rare unless they're really a busy person, and I'll ask how much time they have. But I don't want to set up that call. I want to set up that call for down the road because that elevates the importance of me and my call. If I'm going to call, it's important. I want it on their calendar. The other thought is it's important for me because I can really focus on that call. By me setting up another time, that's a big opportunity. I'm laser beam focused. I want to get there. I could probably take the call, and I probably have a skill set where I can run the call and do all right. But I don't want to do that. I want it on my calendar. I want to clear my desk. I want to get my head ready so I can make that call and say what I need to do and be completely focused on it and be prepared for it. I don't want to wing it. So that's what a silver bullet does. It allows a lot of those things to come together. Gets them to call me back, establishes their relationship. It's unique. And then I use that to ping pong to set up my time. Now, I know I'm kind of throwing a lot out here, but any questions or any feedback on that or even thoughts on how you can apply it?
Muhammad, any follow-up here? Again, I think, Joe shared a lot.
No, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Joe, very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and again, I think Muhammad, even before getting to the referral, being intentional and being, focus on a specific win-win situation, that would also help, make this meaningful. So again, if you know that, companies will, if you apply for a junior role while you're a senior person, then that's a strategy problem before it goes to the referral. So you need to put yourself in their shoe, like, in the employer's shoe before you even reach out, because otherwise, you're burning your bridges somehow. So try again first to, build that, let's say, intentional win-win situation so that it works for both of you guys before you ask for the referral. Otherwise, again, sometimes we just burn referrals without helping them, supporting us. Does that make sense, Muhammad?
Yeah, definitely, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No
Thank you.
Here's another idea. I'm sorry, was there another question?
No, go ahead, Joe.
we have people we've been referred to in the past that maybe have gone nowhere. They're kind of old, dead, and cold. We've been introduced to people maybe 6 months ago or a year ago, and nothing's happened. And I coach on this, and I speak to it. I think referrals are like relatives and fish. After about 2 or 3 days, they start to stink and they need to go. We need to use the referrals right away. We need the connections right away. But what do we do with the people? Let's say you got referred to, let's use Bill Anderson again as my generic example. 6 months ago, left a message, maybe even had a conversation with him, but it didn't go anywhere. But he's still the guy I want to talk to. What do I do with that? It's still valuable. You still see it, and it's like annoys you every time you see his name pop up. It's like, well, what can I do? Well, let's go back and get a silver bullet on your old, dead referrals or introductions that went nowhere. They're still valuable. Let's get some value out of them. Go back to the referee who you already have a relationship with. They've already given you the name. They've already crossed that threshold. Call them, just check in, see how they're doing, and then just be real transparent. Hey, I know 6 months ago you introduced me to Bill. I was trying to catch up with him. Is he still at that same company? Yeah. All right. We're just curious. What type of decision maker is Bill? Is he a numbers guy? Is he a driver? Is he a talker? I'm right back into getting a silver bullet. And it's going to liven that up. And it's him thinking about his relationship with Bill. That's huge. And then you pivot. What do you respect most about him? That is such a great question because you can leave it. Because, Bill Anderson, or I mentioned your name the other day. He said you're one of the most organized people I know. And what he respects most about you is you always do the right things. Love to catch up, 612-805-7576. Done. It's that powerful. So I would challenge you, if you're looking to land a job, go back to the people who've introduced you to people before and get silver bullets on them and liven that up and acknowledge it. Hey, I tried to catch up with them. We just never caught up. Where's he still at? Are they still there? Good. What type of decision maker? Is he a numbers guy? Is he a driver? Is he a talker? Get him thinking about it. What do you respect most about him? What's a funny story about him? Can I give him crap? Make sure you get permission if you're going to give him crap about it. Because sometimes people get worried about those things. So you can tease them. Just, yeah, you can give them crap like that. And you hear some good stuff. While you're having that conversation, let's just say Ahmed introduced me, referred me to Bill Anderson 6 months ago. I didn't get anywhere. I called. I had that conversation. Hey, got a silver bullet on him. I say, hey, is there anybody else I should be talking to? When you go back and you get a silver bullet from the old dead ones, well, the door's open to say, hey, is there anybody else? If you thought of anybody else I should talk to. It's an incredibly powerful way. I'll put this in the chat. That's a free PDF, silver bullet referrals. It kind of walks through a one pager that's just like 2 pages long or 3 pages long, but I call it a one pager anyway. But it walks through the process of the silver bullets, and I kind of goes a little bit more in detail than what I got. You guys can download that and just keep that up. Every time you get a name, I need something else attached to it.
Joe, I would like to maybe take this further and make this more interactive and engaging, if you don't mind. I want to ask two volunteers here from the group to come on stage and do the role play with you, so that again they try to get referrals from each other, and again this is how you all going to grow. So if you're brave enough to come off mute and also in camera, that would be amazing. And then introduce yourself first, get to know the other person, and then ask that other person for a referral, and Joe will coach you on how to do this the right way. Would that be okay, Joe?
Sure. For clarity, two of your guests, one role play and ask another one for referrals.
Yes. So two.
Awesome. I'll make notes on it.
Yeah.
I'd say a suggestion, when they're giving the names, let's kind of be normal with what we're saying. Sometimes we do that. We get some weird, goofy. We all get weird and goofy at times. Give a legitimate answer, because we want to hear the process more than what we're going to handle with objections. So yeah, I'll make notes on that. That'd be awesome.
Awesome. Who's brave enough to come off mute and be on camera and do this? And again, this is how we grow, guys. So if you want to stay in your comfort zone, you will always do whatever you do. It's gonna be tough for you to grow. But when you get outside of your comfort zone and you try new things, and again, it's a safe environment. Nobody will judge you. It's a safe.
Yeah, I'll piggyback onto that, Ahmed.
Yeah.
That is, I coach 30 to 40 people around the country. It is one of the most effective tools we have is the role play. It's weird, it's dorky, it's awkward, but it's effective. It's one of the best tools, and I use it all the time.
Okay, who wants to give it a shot?
Yeah, I can try.
Okay, awesome. Okay, Muhammad, thanks. We have one brave person. Let's get another volunteer, Muhammad, first, and then I'll let you do your introduction, so that other person also can do his introduction or her introduction too. So who also wants to be, brave enough to get this going? And it's a muscle. Again, I know it's not easy. I know it requires a little bit of courage. Not easy. Thanks, Muhammad, for doing this. But it's very, very powerful when you do that.
Now, you piggyback on that too. If you can do role play here in this environment for asking for referrals, it's going to be a hell of a lot easier when you do it in the real world. Exactly. You don't have people watching you and you don't know. So I repeat, it's pretty important, pretty valuable.
Awesome. Okay, maybe I'll ask Neil to volunteer here. Is it okay for you, Neil, to volunteer with Muhammad here?
What does he want me to do?
So I think Muhammad will ask you for a referral. So first of all, Muhammad, you'll introduce yourself, and then Neil, you will introduce yourself so that you both know each other somehow. And then Muhammad, you will be asking Neil for a referral.
Hi, Neil. My name is Muhammad. I have been a software engineer for 20 years. So I just laid off with this decision. So they decided to lay off a bunch of people. Unfortunately, I am one of them. So I would like to refer me to your company. Especially, I found that they are looking for people in seniority level in your company, and I believe I match many of the skill sets that they asking, and I can take responsibility in the job description on LinkedIn or career website.
So you want to meet the people I know, senior people I know, because you're going to ask them for a job, or you want to understand about the company, the types of roles that they have, how them personally got there, or you want to ask about them, or are you looking for the job?
So maybe
are you asking me to refer you for a specific job? In other words,
Neil, I think for the context, if you don't mind, give a quick introduction first, so that Muhammad can have more context to ask the right questions.
Neil Robertson. I'm a former IT pro. I retired from Microsoft after 7 years as a technology strategist. Before that, I worked for Oracle, IBM, SAP, VMware as a pre-sales technical consultant working with the AEs. I started my career as a geoeconomist and then transitioned into tech in the mid-90s. So I know exactly what it's like to try to make a move from one industry to another, one job to another, and I know exactly what it's like to research and ask for referrals to discuss with people what it's like to be in a certain industry or a certain company or have a certain job type, etc. And I've also quite experienced in having people ask me for referrals for specific jobs. So I'm helping out Ahmed with his business and wherever I can. So, okay. So you're asking me for what type of referral to do what type of discussion?
Yeah, to first of all, to tell me what exactly tools they are using, like what technologies they are using currently. Secondly, if you know the hiring manager or HR person that dedicated for this job, you can send to me a referral.
If we've just met, right? So just a second, Joe. We've just met, right?
We are friends for 5 years.
Okay.
You know,
okay,
and know what we are doing in each company. So I know what you are doing in your company, and you exactly know what I'm doing in my company.
Okay, go ahead, Joe.
If I could jump in before you start to kind of help out, I think this is a good practice. My context, and this is, I'm outside and maybe miles removed. I'm looking for an introduction to have the conversation to find out what they are, what the skill set is. I'm not going to look at the referee. They're not going to know that. So it's just me introducing me to the people who I can ask those questions, because we can go down that rabbit hole. They say, well, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what the projects are. The referral's dead. So let's back up a step. This referral, the role play, let's just do it so I can just, hey, who would I want to talk to? Who would know the answers? I'm not, who should know the answers, or they can point me to the person who is. So let's back up a little bit. Not personally, you're not looking for that, what they're looking at the job or the description. We just want the people. Does that help make sense?
Yeah, I actually just did one for someone this morning. So
okay, cool.
So yeah, I mean, basically why I was grilling him was on, and this is what's worked for me in the past, is when you're first starting out and you're not getting people calling you, is just trying to understand what they like about the organization. You're not looking for the job itself. So you're just, now there's two different ones. There's a referral for a job, and there's a referral for a discussion because you're looking to make a transition or possibly work for a company like that or a type of job like that. And so you're not putting pressure on that person about a specific job. So that's
absolutely spot on.
Ladder, right?
And one can lead to the other. That's yes. Spot on. You're right.
Absolutely. It quite often does. Okay. So we've known each other. Therefore, I know what you personally. I'm just trying to think. If I'm going to talk to somebody, refer you to somebody in the organization, have a discussion, the discussion is going to be about what they like about the company, what's it like to work there, what is it they enjoy about their roles, what are the hard things, what are the good things, what does their day look like, what does their week look like. If you're asking about the technology, you can find any of that. You can find out on LinkedIn pretty fast. If you're a developer and they're looking for IT, they have all that. That's listed. I'm just trying to think. What else, Joe? You asked for.
I'm going to jump in if it's all right. Yeah. I'll go first, and even though I'm not an IT person and that's not my strength, so you get an idea of what I'm trying to say, and then you guys can kind of follow from that one. I think we asked a really broad way. I want to kind of narrow it down. Okay, so Neil, I'm kind of ask you. We've known each other for 5 years or so. We've done some work together. We're having a conversation, and I said, Neil, I was wondering if I could help me out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for a job, and I'm trying to find a place that has the right fit, the right culture, and even talk to the right people. We've worked together for a while. What are some things you've liked about what we've done or how we partnered together?
Right. So
you make up an answer. Go ahead.
Yeah, I like your work ethic is very solid. Your results have been top notch. You're willing to jump in and help get projects across the line whenever there's an issue or we're stuck. You're the ultimate team player. Things like that. Your technology is off the charts. You pay for drinks at the bar. You.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks. Who are some people that would appreciate those skills? I should just have a conversation. They may not have an opening. I'm just kind of trying to get other conversations with people who would appreciate those things. Who are two people who would appreciate those type of skill sets?
So I know the director for let's say Microsoft for Microsoft Word development. He's responsible for anything to do with Microsoft Word, the direction, the developers, the product managers, etc. He would have he'd be a good person to talk to because of his background, having come up through the ranks as a junior developer in different companies, running with different product lines, etc.
How long have you known him?
I've known him about 4 or 5 years.
Got it. And just curious, what type of decision maker? Is he a numbers guy? Is he kind of a driver or a talker?
So he's both a numbers and a driver. They have to meet specific dates, deliver certain feature sets, etc. And he's the type of person that helps drive enthusiasm and drives the individuals to get their code in on time and make those dates, those production dates. He's never slipped.
Never slipped? Cool.
I've never heard of anybody like that, by the way. So,
just curious, maybe a goofy question. What do you respect most about him?
I respect the fact that he treats his employees fairly. He's not he listens to their advice when there's particular issues and will act on that advice as opposed to assuming he knows everything. That's probably the biggest thing.
Oh, got a funny story about him? Okay, I mean, now we're role playing, so we'll stop the role play there. But that's kind of how
it works. Divorced. I mean,
yeah, okay. See, something like that, you could use if you get permission. That's what I want, because you're thinking about the relationship. That's exactly where we want to go with the silver bullet.
Well, there's the karaoke moment at our kickoff event in which we got him up on stage to sing "Feelings" in front of everybody to great effect, and I have the video.
Can I tell it with him? Will he get mad, or can I give him crap about
it? No,
that?
he will laugh. He will laugh.
All right. Now let's step out of role play. That is gold right there, because you can now leave that message. Say, listen, I was talking to Neil. He says you're a very detailed guy. You get stuff done. You're dependable. He says you're really, really good at karaoke. 612-805-7576 and hang up. No matter what, you don't even know what I'm calling. They're going to call me back. That's a silver bullet.
That would instantly get a laugh from a person right away. They're on your side for sure.
And now I'm talking to the person. Now I can talk through. Hey, I know I may be overqualified, or what. Now that's what we're trying to get to. All the silver bullet does is just get that conversation. I'm not talking about the job. I don't want to talk about the job. Not on this call. I make the referrals and silver bullets is to connect with the person who I do or knows the people. I got to back up where we're trying to go. We're trying to get a job. We're not at that stage yet. We got to get the conversation first. Does that make sense?
Exactly.
I love it. Mohammed, I want to get you in here as well, just to, share what did you feel or learn from this discussion? Is this helping you? Like, again, how this role play made sense to build a relationship, build a discussion, build a trust before even you ask anything?
Yeah, what I'm learning today from guys that I have to make some study about the job and the company itself before asking, because for myself it is first time, so I go for anybody or not anybody, my friends, and I told him I need a job. So he told me this is my company and I will apply it to you or send it to me CV. I do manipulate it like this way. Okay, this is my CV and that's it. Or this is the link that I would like to apply. This is a link job and I would like to apply for this. But now I understand from Joe and Neil that I have to make some survey about the job, a survey about the company itself. What is the behavior? Because some people, I am surprised that they go to work every day. And my last company, I working from home. So it is another issue. So I have to understand what exactly I have to ask and what is the type and what is the behavior the company is doing. Yeah.
So Mohammed, again, it's a simple, just building relationship is not easy. When we try to ask someone to help us with anything, anything in life, we definitely need to have some kind of a relationship first. If you remember you were referred to me by Walid, he's a friend of mine, and
yes.
I know Walid, and I now knowing you more. So this is again how this trust is helping Walid asking me for that referral and you connecting with me. So again, it's all about that silver bullet that Joe just mentioned, how to ask questions first to get to know the person, get to know, how they can build that relationship with you first. And then once you want to ask them something, then you can go ahead. The other thing again is we need to make the ask clear, because if we don't ask a clear ask, then it's going to be difficult for the person to help us. Like if I don't tell them what exactly I need, and what I normally do with the people that I work with, I tell them go in the company first, check if there's jobs, and if there is a job, tell them specifically, I want you to refer me to this specific job, not just I'm searching for a job, I want to work there, and give me the resume and that's it. Then you just pass the ball to them, and that doesn't work, unfortunately.
Yes.
With all the respect, everybody who I personally, when I was searching for a job long back, I was doing this and nothing happened. They always ghost me. They always disappear because they don't know what to do, and I don't blame them. Neil, go ahead. I want to keep this interactive.
Yeah, I just want to ask Joe. So there's the conversation where you're being referred to a specific position that's been posted, and then there's the conversation here, which it's almost like you're coming in with a mindset of the fact that you almost like you haven't worked for anybody before, or you're trying to interview the company itself to understand the business of what they do and how they do things to see if it's a fit, things like this, or if organizations like this are a fit for you, and getting their perspective. I'm trying to get people to because I've set up I've done this myself, and I've set up people to have these kinds of conversations where it's people are trying to make a transition, call it a transition where they've been laid off or whatever, doesn't matter, into another role, but you're interviewing to understand what you'd like to do and where you'd like to be before you've actually applied for a role itself. Is that somewhere in the ballpark?
I would agree with that. And actually goes to another point another idea that I'll come back and ask a question in a roundabout way. So give me a minute. I'll get back to you, Neil.
No problem.
What we're really looking at doing is, one, getting ourselves so we're unique to have that conversation. And then how can we make that conversation? How can we make ourselves stand out? There's so many people applying, and it's a technical field when we look at it, but we're looking at a relationship. We hire people. I want to have people be part of it where they get to know me right away. Or what can I share? What can I get them interested in me? And there's an exercise I'll do, suggest for all you guys. And Neil, Ahmed, we did this when we started. It's an exercise, and I'll challenge each one of you guys with. It's called 25 Hates to Loves. 25 Hates to Loves. And this started a couple of years ago. I was shopping with my wife, and she goes, "Do you like this? No. Do you like this? No. Do you like this? No. What do you like?" I don't know. I mean, you've all been there. But I thought on that and said, that's how our brain works. We know immediately and instinctively what we don't like, but I can't tell you what I like. So let's use that. Let's build off of that. I'm challenging each one of you to take a piece of paper or Word document, number 1 to 25, and write 25 character traits of a bad work environment with detail. And we can do that. Gossip, no follow through, lack of funds, whatever. We all know what it is. And list it 1 through 25 character traits of a bad work environment with detail. Then rank it. The ones you hate the most are at the top. The ones you can tolerate are at the bottom. So now I have a list of 25 character traits with detailed, ranked in order of a bad work environment. Take it and just write the exact opposite. If you hate it with detail over here, it's important. You're going to love it with detail over here, and it's important. That's a good document. That's a great conversation. That is something that I would drop off or hand deliver to the HR director. Actually, skip that. Go right to the president of the company. Whatever. You don't have to do it that way. Get yourself to stand out. Say, hey, just so you know, I'm looking for a job. These are some character traits of the work environment that I really want to work with. I'd love to get your opinion on it. And drop it off with your resume. They have that person forward it to the HR person. If you got a list like that and you get it from the director or a C-level person, hey, call this guy, get him in. So that's kind of around the way is what I'm trying to do to answer your question, Neil, is to get myself so I can have that conversation. That's a way of doing it, but that referral piece, that's what I want. So did I answer your question? It was a long way around.
Yeah, that's actually just reminded me of a friend of mine that got into one of the top engineering schools in Canada back in the late 70s because he showed up at the registrar's office and his conversation was almost just like that. He had in his mind to get them to basically justify to him why he should even go to that or consider that school. And he didn't have the marks to get in. He was low, and they let him in because by the time he was done with that, basically that type of list where I'm looking for this, you need to tell me whether I should come here or not. They offered him it. And it's extremely rare for that to happen, but that does happen in companies for sure.
Sure.
When you've got them kind of thinking about that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Ahmed, Leif Hempstead referred me to you.
Yes.
That's how he introduced us. And I mean, I literally, all parts of my business come from referrals. I do the marketing and social media. I don't get names from it. I don't count on that. It's what I do, the connections.
Yeah, I love it. So, Joe, again, I want, if you don't mind, I want you to list down the objections of why people are scared to ask for referrals, if you don't mind. And again, I want to ask this because I want the folks here to get the benefit and also reflect on their, what's their challenges on getting referrals today, because that's the most important thing in the job market today. Like 80% of jobs are hidden. You cannot find it in job boards. So I'll give it back to you, Joe, to tell us, what are the top challenges or top objections, if you will.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is holding us back from getting referrals is our thinking. We make it into a big deal. It's not. You got to look at it. We have certain levels of trust. Let's say that this is a silly example. And I use silly examples, but the ideas are pretty solid. Let's say that it's summer. My kids are out back playing with my neighbor's kids in the backyard. And I say, hey, I got to run to Home Depot. Can you watch my kids? That's a high level of trust. They're watching my kids. But 2 weeks later, we come to it like, oh, we're going out of town. I don't know if I could ask them to bring in the garbage cans. I trust them with my kids, but I feel awkward about the garbage cans. Well, apply that to referrals. You've got the connection. You've already got it. Your level of trust is there. You ask them if they know you and like you, just say, hey, I just want to meet them. So that's first, the objection is our thinking. Second is we're kind of passive about referrals or introductions. There is nothing passive about referrals. I mean, I coach on this in sales. The referral is more important than the sale. Getting a referral is more important than the sale. We don't think of it that way. We're passive. That's another objection. The other part, and again, I'll use this in the sales environment, but when we're selling or we're pitching or we're closing, we want to be described some character traits. We're focused, we're upbeat, we're energetic, we're confident. That's the person we want asking for referrals. What I see happening, and again, this is in business, but it applies here, that we can be focused, upbeat, confident, trustworthy. When we're selling, when we're pitching, when it comes to referrals, it's like we downshift and say, I'd kind of maybe like to have an introduction, if it's okay. We can't. Referrals are given to confident people. If you want to get introduced, you have to ask in a confident way. So that'd be the second part, is make sure we're confident in what you're saying. Another part is explain. They say, give them a way out. Their biggest concern is they may worry that this may be embarrassing them down the road. That's an objection. So let's address that. Say, listen, all I want to do is connect with them. If it makes sense, great. If it doesn't, it's not a big deal. I'm not going to be, you can say, I'm not going to be that guy who keeps on bothering them. I don't want them to be at a ball game and say, hey, why in the heck did you give Paolo my name? He's calling me all the time. So let's downshift that. Let's answer those objections. The mindset is the biggest one. It's not a big deal. We make it into a big deal. We've all lost jobs. We've known people who've lost jobs. One reason or another, we've all been helped by other people. We all want to help other people. That's exactly what we're talking about. That's why we want to help. If everyone on we're willing to help other people. This is a natural place for us. It's part of our human nature. We want to help others. We've been in that spot. We know that person's under trouble. They got to pay their mortgage and feed their kids and everything else. We want to help them. We just don't know how. Well, referrals are a way to do that. That was a lot of answers there, Ahmed. Was that what you're looking for?
Yeah, no, this is good. So again, I want to give it back to the folks here, and we're almost 10 minutes before the end. So I want to just ask them, what's your other challenge? Do you see there is any other challenges that are holding you back from asking for referrals? And again, please, come on, you're in the call to learn and grow. So try to be active, engage and ask questions. Muhammad, you're the lucky one today. So thank you so much for your courage. Please go ahead.
Yeah, no problem. Only I have a situation in Middle East when I applied there. My referral told me that I haven't to mention that I laid off. So I don't know what is the difference between cultures, but we have to be honest with any company. He told me when they found you looking for a job and don't compare with your current job and another one, they will not give you a good offer or benefits. And you understand what I mean. So yeah. So I would like only to take your opinion regarding to this, because in other cultures, they take the concept of laying off that you are not a good person. They don't understand what is the financial situation here and what the company is doing here. That's only what I would like to know.
100%. And again, this is definitely a culture thing. Some cultures are different than Canada and the US. But it's, at the end of the day, it's a human relationship. Like if you look desperate, it's gonna be difficult for them to think of you in a good way, because again, that's how, the vision of desperate people, that something is wrong with them. This is what human interaction. I'm not speaking about you specifically here, Mohammed. I'm speaking in general. Being desperate in your asks, being desperate in your way of positioning, that would make some people feel, oh, maybe that's a red flag. That's a risk. Or so how can I show first value? This is again the positioning piece that we need to do differently, is how to position myself as a value. I'm here to solve your problems. I'm not asking you to help me. I'm here, if you hire me, you will solve lots of problems in your organization, and you will scale business, you will get more customers, you will get more customer satisfaction. This is my value. This is what I can do to you through my previous experience. So then you come with the story of what you've brought before to your previous employers, like again how many let's say apps or applications you've built, or how many users, what were the revenue, and some of those stories that would show again your impact, your value, your delivery before you ask for a job. And again, asking for the job from the first time, this is a desperate thing. So you have first to build a relationship, get to know the person, like what Joe just shared with us today, how to ask the right questions, get to know them first, get to know their problems, because again, if their problems are not your problem, or are not what you can solve, then it's not a match. Regardless what you do, it's not gonna match. So you have to first uncover what are their problems, so that you position yourself to be the solution for that problem. Does that make sense?
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
100%.
Awesome. Khalil, I see your hand raised. Go ahead, Khalil. And please just give us a quick intro about who you are, your name, role, location, and your question or your follow-up. Go ahead, Khalil. And if you're speaking, you're mute. We cannot hear you. Oh, we still cannot hear you. Can you unmute, Khalil? I think you're mute. Yes, try now.
Right?
Yeah, now we can hear you. Yes, go ahead.
Hello? Is the mic working well?
Yes, now it's working well. But if you can hide your voice.
Oh, yes. Let me see.
No, just hide your voice.
So I'm a graduate, computer science graduate. My name is Al-Hussein Khalil. I've graduated in November.
Awesome, congratulations.
And so recently. And I'm looking for an entry-level job in an IT department. So I have a question regarding, like, last week it happened to me where I know a person in a company.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have a personal relationship with the hiring manager or anyone in the department where I found the job role at.
Okay.
So can I use that referral, or is it a dead end?
Okay, I'll ask our expert here, Joe.
I think they may not know the person, but they may know somebody who knows somebody. I wouldn't do that, but really, we're looking at the culture. We're looking at what do I need to know? How do I get there? They're just giving you more information to make you more productive for that next conversation. It's a piece that I look at. I call it pre-approach. Before I want to talk to somebody or engage in a company, I want to find out as much about it. If you know one person, have a conversation with them and say, hey, if you were me, who would you talk to? Or who should know who I should talk to? That's your one referral. That person may know the HR director or whatever. So you may have to leapfrog a couple of people with that. But you're really not having a downside having that conversation, even having it a pseudo interview, because it's just practice. And we got to practice a lot of this. This happened a couple of years ago. I had a legal issue. and I got referred to 3 attorneys that I want. And the top one I wanted one and number 2. So I went to the third one, presented my case, and he said, yeah, Joe, I'll do it, but it's at this rate. All right. Took his questions, went to the second one, gave him my case. He said, Joe, I'll take your case, but I'll do it at this rate. And it was a better rate. Took his questions, went to the person I wanted to talk to. He said, Joe, I'll take your case. I'll do it contingent. By me practicing 3 times, I got to the people. You practicing your referral asks, it's nothing but upside. You're going to get the name, but you're going to get better at asking and more confident. Don't know if that answered your question or not.
Khalil?
Thank you, Joe. It was quite helpful. Your framing of the human interactions and conversations.
Yeah, and again, it's a muscle, guys. Like, this doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. I know asking for referrals is not easy. If it's easy, Joe will not be here. That's why Joe is coaching others to make it easier, make it simpler, make it predictable. That's what Joe normally do every day. Joe, I know we're almost on time, and I know that you want to escape that tree thing, but we normally take the group selfie at the top of the hour, and then I can stay a little bit longer. You can drop Joe if you would like to do your work, but I again want to thank you so much for this great wisdom, great discussion. And thank you everybody for listening and asking questions. Muhammad, Khalil specifically for interacting and engaging. Nil, of course, for supporting me and supporting this group. So we'll take the group selfie. If you're ready to be a celebrity for this call, try to be in camera, and we'll take the group selfie. And then I'll stay for 10-15 minutes more to answer questions, if you will. So let's do this. Let me just make the view.
Ahmed,
yes.
Thanks for your piece. Put if someone's interested, my website is just put in the chat. A lot of the concepts are in there. It's on how to sell nothing, but there's some podcasts in there. Take the best and leave the rest, but there's some other examples on referrals and silver bullets that you guys can listen to some recordings on there. So help yourself to that as well.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks, Joe. Again, we'll take the group selfie. So whenever you're ready, I'll say 1, 2, 3 and smile. So when you're ready, 1, 2, 3 and smile. Awesome. Thank you so much, Joe. This was amazing as expected, and lots of great wisdom, lots of great insights. I personally learned a lot. I hope this was a good investment for everybody's time. Stay positive, stay proud. Any final words, Joe, before you leave us? And if there is more questions, we're happy to take those questions too.
I just kind of say the biggest thing is your mindset when it comes to referrals. Our minds hold us back more than anything else. And if you make it into a big deal, it's a big deal. If it's not, then it's not. Real simple.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Joe. Again, sure. I know you have to go, so feel free to drop, and I will just stay here for 5 more minutes if anyone have any more questions.
Thanks, all. Appreciate it all.
Here, Joe, thanks a lot.
Yep.
Excellent.
Cool. Awesome. So I'll stick around for 5 more minutes. If anyone have questions, I'll be happy to answer. Otherwise, we'll give you back your Sunday. Okay, it seems no more questions. Okay, awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody, again. Stay positive, stay proud, stay blessed. It's tough out there. I know how hard it is, but, there is a job for everybody. Just do the process, do the homework, understand your challenges, and action your challenges too. Don't just wait for your challenges to grow. Knock them one by one as soon as you get to know them. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the day, and see you again Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern, if you would like. Bye. Hey.
Hey, man. Do you have a second?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I just want to let you know. So I hooked up a conversation for Kim with a good friend of mine.
Oh,
I had to
nice.
check with him first. He is the VP or general manager for all of the meat sector.